House Speaker Mike Johnson helped Congress run for the hills by starting their summer vacation before voting on releasing of the Epstein files. But the demand for the answers keep getting louder and louder because now the Justice Department says they want to talk to his former accomplice. And here's how you know who tried to change the subject. Take a look.
Your Deputy Attorney General is reached out to Ghislaine Maxwell's attorney asking for a new interview.
Yeah, I don't know about it, but I think it's something that sounds appropriate to do, yeah.
Do you have any concern that your Deputy Attorney General, who's your former attorney, would be conducting the interview, given
No, I have no concern. He's a very talented person. He's very smart. I didn't know that they were going to do it. I don't really follow that too much. It's sort of a witch hunt, just a continuation of the witch hunt. The witch hunt that you should be talking about is they caught President Obama. He's guilty. This was treason. This was every word you can think of. They tried to steal the election. Irrefutable proof that Obama was seditious, that Obama was trying to lead a coup.
Sort of seditious.
What did he say?
I think he wants to be sedated. Like,
he wants to be sedated?
It should be seditious, but, you know.
Well, that's what he should have said. Listen, this prompted former President Obama to release this statement. Out of respect for the office of the presidency, our office does not normally dignify the constant nonsense and misinformation flowing out of this White House with a response. But these claims are outrageous enough to merit one. These bizarre allegations are ridiculous, a weak attempt at distraction. Nothing in the document issued last week undercuts the widely accepted conclusion that Russia worked to influence the 2016 election, but did not successfully manipulate any votes. These findings were affirmed in a 2020 report by the bipartisan Senate Intelligence Committee, led by then-Chairman Marco Rubio. A sitting president just accused a former president of treason. Now, do people realize how serious an allegation this is? And for me, didn't the Supreme Court, under the guidance of this president, say that presidents have immunity? So that would mean that nothing Obama did, because you didn't say no, that only you have immunity. You said presidents. So this means you have no right to try to take him to court because he did what he did as president. So how does that work? Is it only you who is clear, or are they all clear? In which case, President Biden might be, kicking some new stuff up to you too. Because if you say nobody has immunity, or everybody, you have to decide which way you're going to go. But what do you think of all of this?
Well, first of all, who tried to overthrow the government on January 6th?
Wait, let me think. Who
was that again? That was not Obama. Okay, the thing about him is that he's so jealous of Obama because Obama is everything that he is not.
Yeah.
Trim. Smart. Handsome. Happily married, and can sing Al Green's song, Let's Stay Together, better than Al Green.
Yeah.
And Trump cannot stand it. It's driving him crazy. Jealousy is not green is not a good color.
I agree with you on that. I agree. It's like Obama still lives rent-free in his head. I think Michelle Obama still lives rent-free in his head. I think the fact that Malia graduated from Harvard still lives rent-free in his head. And it's just the very swag that Obama has that he will never have. In fact, there is a viral clip going on right now. Check this out.
Touch them up and go. Oh, ching-ching-ching. Here comes the stepper. I'm the lyrical gangster. Excuse me, Mr. Officer.
Yes, you see? He will never
Never be cool.
have swag. bag. He will never be cool.
Never.
And that's just what this is about. It's very high school.
Yeah.
I think it's actually about distracting from Jeffrey Epstein.
And
Let's
that's
just
it.
be clear
That's
what
it.
it's about.
It's part of
and
it.
by the way, I would say if Ghislaine Maxwell were to testify, I wouldn't believe a word that a convicted sex trafficker said because her only incentive and motivation would be to lighten her own sentence.
Of course.
Because she's currently doing about 20, sentenced to 20 years. But this particular, I'm going to call it a conspiracy that he's espousing, bothers me because I served in most of the first Trump administration. I saw the intelligence that we had. I actually was with Mike Pence when he confronted Vladimir Putin in Singapore and said, we know what you tried to do in our elections. Do not do it again. It was the consensus of people in the first term, including the previous director of national intelligence, that Russia did try to meddle in our elections. And while they didn't change a vote, that is a single vote, that was absolutely something they did. So I think the reason so many people are just disillusioned and they're like, what are we doing? I thought we were voting on the price of eggs, the cost of living, securing the border.
yeah.
Is why are we talking about someone who hasn't been in office for nearly a decade? And if this was true, why didn't you do something about it in the first
That's
term?
what I was going to say. I mean, I don't remember what the word was. Sedacious. I mean, if he was
Seditious.
No, but he
meant
said his
sedacious.
word was.
Sedacious.
So if it was so sedacious, which is really bad, why didn't you address it in the first? Because they had all of this material. These
Because he
investigations.
was sedated.
Possibly. But I also don't have much faith, as the reporter asked in that clip, because
Yeah.
this is Trump's former lawyer. So to pretend that that's going to be something, that's the part I don't believe more than Ghislaine, actually, is I don't trust a room where you don't have a mixed audience. And that's why I have a little more faith in the House Oversight Subcommittee, who actually is calling on Ghislaine to come, and I would believe that more. And I still want to hear what she has to say as someone that's actually concerned with this. She holds all the secrets of
She does.
everything we're all looking
Yeah,
for.
but like she says, she has no motivation except to get out of jail.
She's
Like,
got 20 years. I don't think that was enough in the first place, but I
But
would
if they give her
still.
a deal,
I have a question for the
she probably
lawyer.
wants a deal.
Why can't Obama sue Trump for defamation of character?
Well,
Public figure.
I got to tell you, the standard is certainly higher in defamation, for defamation, because
He's
President
accusing him
Obama
of
is a public
treason.
figure. But accusing someone of treason, which, if you're found guilty of that, one of the penalties could be death. And
Yeah.
so it is very significant. But as Whoopi mentioned with the Supreme Court, now there's immunity all over the place
Yeah.
for this president.
But
and it's
everyone
immunity
knows
broad.
President Obama did nothing. It's kind of like in his clip, or in that quote, it says, we don't normally address this. I was like, I'm glad you felt the need. You really didn't, because no one believes him. He sounds
But it's still-
he sounds
but-
like a toddler that gets cornered and just
But
starts
it's still
squealing.
it's still very defamatory.
It's
when
a
you
horrible
think
thing
about
to
it.
say
It's a
about
horrible
somebody.
thing
He
to
said
say
some
about a
pretty
former
horrible things about a
president.
lot
But
of
I
people.
would be careful, though, because I actually think we live in such a polarized environment that if you have enough people amplifying it and saying this, there are going to be people who believe it. And that's where it just adds to this really, really dangerous split that we have in the country where people believe, like, their own facts rather than actual facts.
And that's why defamation is so very damaging, because
I don't
the only
think they're letting
defense-
go of Epstein.
the
I
only-
think people are starting to figure it
no
out.
matter
The
what
only
he
defense
does
of
to
defamation
distract,
is truth.
Epstein is trailing him like Marco Rubio.
Yeah.
And let's just be clear. You all understand how your lives were under Obama. You remember everything he did because we were all kind of shocked because this was the first time we were seeing the kinds of things that they were looking into. So for anyone to think that it went this long and nobody saw that there was a problem, there was no problem. The problem is the man did what he did, and that's why they took him to task. And it was Republicans and Democrats. It was both parties were saying, sir, the person who's sitting right now, we are checking this out because we need to have this information. Had less to do with you than it had to do with interference. Who are you saying was sedacious?
Or seditious.
He keeps trying to make fetch happen, okay?
So I'm trying to be partying with you, But who are you accusing? And do you really know the meaning of what that is? Because what you are saying is as dangerous to the nation, in my opinion, as anything. Because then what
Everything
do you
he
do
does is
when people
dangerous.
turn around and start looking at you and wondering, well, you did this, how did you do? So I think you can't be pointing fingers this way. But why listen to me? I just work on a TV show.